The ring was a symbol of love, but it became a symbol of conflict. Her late husband's ring, an heirloom passed down from his grandfather, was now tearing the family apart. It was not the ring's monetary value that caused the tension. It was its sentimental weight. Years before, when the world was still full of promise and her life was painted in vibrant hues of hope, she had met him, her husband, her partner, her love. He had a smile that could light up the darkest of rooms, and a laughter that was infectious, spreading joy to anyone who heard it. Together they had dreams, plans, and a future that seemed endless. But life, with its unpredictable nature, had other plans. Their son was just a baby when the unthinkable happened. Her husband passed away suddenly, leaving behind not just a void in her heart, but also the unfinished business of life, an estate that needed settling, decisions that needed making, and a small child who needed his mother more than ever. In the whirlwind of grief and responsibility, she had to navigate the delicate terrain of family expectations and her own sense of duty to her husband's memory. The ring was a part of that tangled web. It was given to her husband by his grandfather, a symbol of love and commitment that had been worn with pride and cherished deeply. She remembered the day he showed it to her, his eyes sparkling with a mixture of pride and nostalgia. "It's not much to look at," he had said with a self-deprecating smile, "but it's been in the family for generations. It's seen a lot of love." After his passing, when she was still struggling to comprehend a world without him, his mother approached her with a request. The ring, she said, should go to one of her sister's children. It was a request that caught her off guard, a demand that seemed to disregard the bond she had shared with her husband. To her, the ring was not just an heirloom, but a piece of him, a part of his legacy that should rightfully belong to their son. Her refusal was swift and firm, driven by an instinct to protect what little remained of him for their child. "It belongs to his son now," she had told his mother, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. It was a decision that felt right at the time, a decision that was made with her husband's wishes in mind. Years passed and life moved forward. Their son grew, a living reminder of the love she had shared with her husband. The ring was tucked away safely, a silent guardian of memories past. She rarely thought about it, and when she did, it was with a sense of quiet resolve. It was not a piece of jewelry she particularly liked. In fact, she found it quite ungainly, its design outdated and its stones lacking any real sparkle. But it was not about the aesthetics. It was about what it represented. Yet the past has a way of resurfacing, and old conflicts are never truly buried. 10 years later, her husband's mother brought up the ring again. This time, it was not a request, but a declaration of familial discontent. "The family thinks this is very wrong of you," she had said, her words laden with expectation and judgment. "The ring should stay in the family." The conversation left her feeling cornered, caught between her own convictions and the pressure of family expectations. She understood the sentiment behind her mother-in-law's words. To them, the ring was a symbol of continuity, a tangible link to the past. But she could not shake the feeling that her husband would have wanted it to remain with their son, a gift for the future rather than a relic of the past. Sitting alone in her living room one evening, she looked at the ring once more. It lay there, unassuming, its presence both comforting and unsettling. She traced its contours with her fingers, feeling the weight of its history. Her thoughts drifted to her husband, to the life they had planned, and to the son they had brought into this world. She imagined the ring as a bridge between generations, a way to connect the past with the future. But she also saw it as a chain, binding her to obligations she was not sure she wanted to fulfill. Her reflections were interrupted by the sound of her son coming home, his laughter echoing through the house. In him, she saw her husband's spirit, the same spark, the same joy for life. That evening, as they sat together, she spoke to her son about the ring, about its history, and about the dilemma she faced. He listened intently, his young mind processing the complexities of family and legacy. "Do you want the ring?" she asked him, her voice gentle but probing. He shrugged, his expression thoughtful. "I don't know, Mom," he said. "I think it's cool that it was Grandpa's, but I don't really wear rings." His response was both relieving and troubling. It confirmed what she had suspected, that the ring's significance was more about the past than the present. Yet it also left her with the lingering question of what to do next. She spent the next few weeks in a haze of introspection, weighing her options and questioning her motivations. Was she holding on to the ring out of spite, or was it truly about honoring her husband's wishes? Each day brought a new perspective, a new layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation. Finally, after much soul-searching, she reached a decision. It was not an easy one, nor was it made lightly. She contacted her mother-in-law, arranging a meeting to discuss the matter face to face. As she prepared for the conversation, she felt a mix of anxiety and resolve, knowing that whatever the outcome, it would be a step towards closure. When the day came, they sat across from each other, the air between them heavy with unspoken emotions. She spoke first, her words measured and sincere. "I've thought a lot about what you said," she began, "and I understand why the ring is important to you and the family." Her mother-in-law listened, her expression softening as she continued. "But I also have to consider what it means for our son, and how I believe his father would want it to be handled." There was a pause, a moment of tension as the conversation hung in the balance. "I want to propose a compromise," she said, her voice steady. "I'll set it aside for now, and when our son is older, I'll let him decide. If he chooses not to keep it, then it can go to the family as you wish." Her mother-in-law nodded slowly, considering the offer. It was not a perfect solution, but it was a fair one, a way to honor both the past and the future. As they parted ways, she felt a sense of relief, a release of the burden she had been carrying for so long. The ring, with all its history and significance, would remain a part of their lives, but its future was now a shared decision. Reflecting on the journey, she realized that the conflict over the ring had been about more than just an heirloom. It had been about love, legacy, and the ties that bind us to those we cherish. It was a reminder that family is not just about shared bloodlines, but about the choices we make and the values we hold dear. And as she looked at her son, she knew that whatever the future held, he would carry forward the best parts of his father, a legacy far more precious than any ring. As she walked away from the meeting, a gentle breeze swept through the trees, rustling the leaves in a symphony that seemed to whisper words of encouragement to her. Each step felt lighter than the last, as if the earth itself acknowledged the weight she had just lifted from her heart. Her thoughts meandered back through the years, to the moments she shared with her husband when life was full of promise and unwritten stories. She recalled the warmth of his touch, the way his laughter could fill a room, and how his mere presence had made her feel complete. The ring, now resting in its small velvet box, was more than just a piece of metal. It was a vessel of memories, a testament to a love that had withstood the test of time and tragedy. Back at home, she found her son in the backyard, his face illuminated by the golden glow of the setting sun. He was practicing his soccer skills, each kick and dribble a testament to the determination he had inherited from his father. Watching him, she felt a swell of pride and gratitude. As if sensing her presence, he glanced up and waved, gesturing for her to join him. She walked over, and they began passing the ball back and forth, their laughter mingling with the evening air. It was a simple moment, yet it held a profound sense of connection and continuity, a reminder that life, despite its challenges, was about living in the present and cherishing the people who matter most. Later, as they sat together on the porch, her son turned to her with a curious expression. "Mom, why is the ring so important to Grandma?" he asked, his voice innocent yet probing. She paused, choosing her words carefully. "For Grandma, the ring is a part of Grandpa's story, a story she wants to keep alive," she explained. "But it's also a part of your dad's story, and I believe he would want you to decide its place in your life." He nodded, his young mind grappling with the idea of legacy and inheritance. "I guess it's kind of like a bookmark," he said thoughtfully. "It holds a spot in our story until we decide what comes next." Her heart swelled with emotion at his insight. "That's a beautiful way to put it," she replied, wrapping an arm around him. "And whatever you decide, know that your dad's love and spirit will always be with you." In that quiet moment, under the vast expanse of the evening sky, she felt a sense of peace. The ring, with all its complexities, was no longer a burden but a bridge, a connection between the past and the future, between what was and what could be. As the stars began to twinkle above, she reflected on the journey she had taken. It had been a path fraught with difficult choices and emotional turmoil, but it had also been one of growth and understanding. She realized that life is a tapestry woven with both joy and sorrow, and that every thread, no matter how tangled, adds to the richness of our experiences. Turning her gaze to her son, she knew that he was her greatest gift, a living legacy of the love she had shared with his father, and in him she saw the promise of new stories yet to be written, stories of hope, resilience, and love. In the end, the ring was but a symbol, a reminder that while objects can hold memories, it is the people we love who truly carry forth our legacy. As she held her son close, she knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together, bound by the unbreakable ties of family and love. Don't miss the next story,